Hello students, I hope you are doing well. So welcome back to my new video. I'll be making a video on AA June attempt and I'll be telling you what is the paper pattern, what is the strategy that you should follow, and what are the important topics for section A and section B. Okay, so there are, if let's move on to the paper pattern. So there are two sections, which is A and B, and in those two sections, section A will include 15 MCQs with 2 marks each, which means that 30 marks is for section A, and section B includes 3 questions of 30, 20 and 20. So these are the questions that is illustrative type questions, which means you have to write it on the Word document, right? And there's a lot to writing, so you need a lot of practice because the paper pattern is changed. So you have to practice yourself into a timed condition so that you do not miss the paper and you are able to manage your time, right? So topic importance for section A are the assurance engagement. Assurance engagement is important. Acceptance engagement and tendering is important. Audit evidence and assertions are important. Audit planning and documentation, corporate governance, internal controls, and auditor's report. So these are the topics which are important for section A, which means for section A it is MCQs, and it is really tough to score marks in section A in AA paper. So you have to keep in mind that you have to study the subject thoroughly so that you can answer section A accordingly, because MCQs will be theory based MCQs and you need to know information of the theory to answer the MCQs, right? And that is the number one important thing that you have to keep in mind while studying the concept, is that you have to study yourself into a condition that is detailed, okay, so that you do not miss anything which can be asked in MCQs. Okay, and you have to keep in mind that you are practicing sufficient number of MCQs so that you can gain some concept from there as well while practicing. Okay, topics important for section B are risk assessment process, internal controls, and substantive procedures. So substantive procedures is a highly important topic which constitute approximately 20 to 25 marks of your paper, and I recommend students to learn a little bit of substantive procedures so that they are not blank in the real examination. Risk assessment process is a question, which is of 30 marks, generally asked in 30 marks. So there will be multiple topics which can be asked that is related to the theory part. So, but most importantly, these three topics are important for section B, which is risk assessment process. You can try to do it, you will learn all the risk while practicing. So practice is very much important for risk assessment question, so that you learn while you solve the questions. Okay, internal controls. Internal controls are the processes, right, that an entity has, which means there is a purchase process of an entity, right? There is a sales process of an entity. So these are the internal controls which are there, which should be effective so that the audit can be effective. So that this is all for the section B important topics. Now comes to what are the scoring areas in the examination. So section B is overall very scoring. So you have to learn things, and the more you practice, the better your answers get, and you will be able to score good marks in section B. Now comes the section A. So section A, ideal score is 16 to 20 out of 30, right? And the approach should be that you have to practice as much as you can, right? Now comes the strategy which you should follow. So the number one strategy is that learning substantive procedures is important. Why do I say this? But most teachers say that do not learn substantive procedures, learn the concept and then try to make it yourself, right? But I have observed in AA paper that there are so much direct questions related to substantive procedures that you cannot answer it without learning. So a little bit of learning always saves you time in the examination, because framing substantive procedures in examination will eat up a lot of time, and you have to solve the exam in 3 hours. So, and the paper pattern is also different, so get yourself prepared for each and every situation. I will recommend some procedures to be learned which can be used in every scenario, so that is what will help you learning common substantive procedures, right? Now comes practicing risk question for section B will help you score good marks in that question. What does this mean? That while I was preparing for my AA paper, I followed one strategy, which is I practiced as much risk question as I can, so that I can know the number of risks that are there, right? Which will help me to answer the question in a way that the examiner wants me to answer. The more I practice, the more I read the model answer, the better I get at my solution, right? So that is what you need. Internal controls procedures should be thoroughly understood. You should be aware about all the internal control procedures that are there in your syllabus, so that when it comes in the real examination, you are able to answer the question in a better manner. Okay. Now comes what should be your strategy for section A questions. So you should solve 15 MCQs daily in the last month, right? What does this mean? That in May, what you have to do is you have to solve 15 MCQs daily, which means that after a certain period of time, MCQs will keep on repeating, and you will be able to, grab a lot of idea related to how to use elimination method to solve MCQs and how to get better at it, right? So this is my suggestion for your AA exam. If you need my personal guidance or mentorship or coaching, you can reach out to me. I'll be mentioning my WhatsApp number. I'll be providing my LinkedIn link in the description as well, right? And my program includes a lot of personal guidance, and I keep on tracking my students performance so that they do not lag behind, right? So this is how I am different from other coaching institutions, because I provide personal guidance for all of my students, and I give as much time as they want, right, as they need. And also I have seen that there are a lot of working students who are not able to clear their exams, and especially AA. So you should reach out to me, because I can really help you, and I have helped a lot of students. I'll be posting some of the reviews here. So right, so thank you for watching. uh, Please reach out to me if you need any help.